Have you ever looked at a painting that seemed so gentle, so peaceful, that you never imagined it was hiding one of the darkest love stories ever told? At first glance, this artwork appears almost impossibly simple. A knight pauses on a narrow staircase. A young woman walks past him. He gently lifts her arm and kisses it with remarkable tenderness. She lowers her eyes and continues on her way. There is no dramatic embrace, no tears, no desperate farewell. And yet this quiet moment has moved generations of people more deeply than countless grand historical paintings. For many, it represents the very definition of pure love. But what if I told you this is not a celebration of romance? It is the final peaceful moment before an entire family is destroyed. Within days, almost everyone connected to these lovers will be dead or condemned to a lifetime of suffering. The kiss you are looking at is not the beginning of their story, it is its final breath of happiness. That hidden tragedy is exactly what makes The Meeting on the Turret Stairs one of the most emotionally powerful paintings ever created. The masterpiece was completed in 1864 by Irish artist Frederick William Burton. Unlike many Victorian painters who favored enormous canvases filled with dramatic battles and heroic victories, Burton chose something remarkably different. He painted silence. Instead of swords clashing, he painted hesitation. Instead of showing death, he captured the final seconds before destiny could no longer be avoided. The scene itself is beautifully restrained. A narrow medieval staircase twists upward through an old stone tower. A young noblewoman dressed in flowing blue walks upward while a knight in shining chain mail descends. Their paths cross for only a moment. The knight reaches out. He takes her hand. Rather than kissing her lips, he gently presses his face against her arm. She doesn't stop him, but neither does she turn toward him. She simply keeps walking. Everything about their body language suggests that words have become impossible. Sometimes the deepest emotions need no conversation. Burton understood this perfectly. Every fold of the clothing, every shadow along the staircase, every careful movement tells us that these two people already know what lies ahead. Modern audiences often imagine this is simply a romantic farewell between lovers separated by duty. The truth is far more heartbreaking. The painting illustrates a famous medieval Danish legend that had been sung for centuries before Burton ever picked up a brush. During the 19th century, the ancient ballad was translated into English, allowing Victorian readers to discover one of Scandinavia's most tragic love stories. Burton became fascinated by it. Rather than painting its violence, he searched for the single moment that carried the greatest emotional weight. He found it here, long before blood was spilled, long before revenge consumed an entire family, long before regret became impossible to escape. The young woman in the story is a princess named Helil. The knight is Prince Hildebrand. Although born into nobility himself, Hildebrand serves in disguise among the guards assigned to protect the princess. What begins as loyalty slowly becomes affection. Affection grows into love. But theirs is not the kind of romance that fairy tales reward. A princess was never expected to fall in love with one of her own protectors. Every stolen glance carried danger. Every secret meeting risked discovery. Every promise they whispered to each other pushed them closer to disaster. Eventually, the truth reaches Helil's father. The king's anger is immediate. He refuses to accept the relationship. Instead of forgiving the young knight, he gives a horrifying command. Hellil's 7 brothers are ordered to hunt Hildebrand down. Not to arrest him, not to exile him, but to kill him. Imagine standing on that staircase knowing this may be the final time you ever see the person you love. That is the emotion Burton wanted us to witness. Not fear, not violence, acceptance. There is something extraordinary about the knight's expression. He does not appear terrified. He does not look angry. Instead, he seems completely devoted to the woman before him. His farewell feels almost sacred. Many critics have noted that Burton transformed an ordinary gesture into something resembling a religious ritual. The kiss becomes more than affection. It becomes a promise, a final act of loyalty, and perhaps forgiveness. The staircase itself plays an important role. Notice how narrow it is. There is barely enough room for 2 people to pass each other. It creates the feeling that fate has trapped them inside a path from which neither can escape. There is no alternate route, no hidden doorway, only one direction forward. Victorian audiences admired Burton's remarkable attention to historical detail, but they were equally captivated by the emotional realism. Nothing feels exaggerated. Nothing feels theatrical. Even today, viewers often describe the painting as strangely quiet. It almost seems to whisper instead of speaking. But silence can sometimes be more devastating than screams. Because once these 2 lovers separate, there will never be another peaceful meeting. Outside those stone walls, 7 armed brothers are already preparing for a battle that will change every life connected to them. Hildebrand knows he cannot run forever. If he truly loves Hellil, he must face them alone. Before leaving, however, he asks the princess to remember one simple request. A request that seems almost insignificant, yet it will determine the fate of everyone involved. She must never speak his name. At first, the warning makes little sense. Why would uttering a single name matter? Why would a brave warrior fear something as harmless as a word? The answer lies at the heart of the ancient ballad, and it transforms this beautiful love story into one of medieval Europe's most devastating tragedies. The morning after their farewell, Hildebrand prepares himself for the battle he knows he cannot avoid. He doesn't gather an army. He doesn't hide behind castle walls. And he doesn't beg for mercy. Instead, he steps outside alone to face the 7 brothers who have come to end his life. According to the old Danish ballad, the brothers arrive armed with swords, shields, and vengeance. They believe the fight will be over within minutes. After all, how could one man possibly survive against 7 trained warriors? But they have badly underestimated him. Hildebrand fights with extraordinary courage. One after another, the brothers fall before his sword. The first is defeated, then the second. Soon a third lies on the ground. The battle grows fiercer with every passing moment, yet Hildebrand refuses to surrender. By the time the dust begins to settle, 6 of the 7 brothers have been defeated. Only the youngest remains. He is frightened, exhausted, and completely at Hildebrand's mercy. Watching from a distance, Hellil is overwhelmed by horror. The man she loves is fighting the men she has known her entire life. Every blow tears her heart in 2. She cannot bear the thought of losing either side. Then, in a desperate attempt to save her youngest brother, she forgets the one promise Hildebrand asked her to keep. She cries out his name. Hildebrand. It is only a single word. But in the ancient legend, that word changes everything. The ballad suggests that speaking his name breaks the mysterious protection surrounding him. Whether it is magic, fate, or simply the power of destiny is left unexplained. What matters is that the instant his name echoes across the battlefield, his strength abandons him. The invincible warrior suddenly falters. His enemies seize their chance. He receives wound after wound until he can no longer stand. Moments later, the knight who had defeated 6 armed opponents collapses onto the ground. He dies not because he lacked courage. He dies because the woman he loved tried to show mercy. It is one of the cruelest twists in medieval literature. Helle wanted to save her brother. Instead, she lost the love of her life. When we return to Burton's painting, its meaning changes completely. The gentle kiss on the staircase is no longer simply romantic. It becomes a heartbreaking farewell between 2 people whose future has already been sealed. Yet the tragedy doesn't end there. If anything, Hildebrand's death is only the beginning of Helle's suffering. One might expect her youngest brother to show gratitude after she saved his life. Instead, the old ballad tells a far darker story. Rather than protecting his sister, he turns against her. She is taken away from the place she once called home. Her freedom disappears. Her happiness vanishes alongside the man she loved. Eventually, the brother values her so little that he trades her away in exchange for a church bell. Think about that for a moment. A princess, a daughter, a sister, reduced to an object worth no more than a piece of metal hanging from a church tower. The betrayal is almost impossible to comprehend. In a foreign land, Helle spends the remainder of her life in sorrow. According to the ballad, she later tells her tragic story to a queen. Once she finishes recounting everything that happened, the forbidden love, the battle, the loss, and the betrayal, her strength finally leaves her. She collapses, and she dies. No happy ending, no reunion, no miracle. Only silence. Knowing this story, it becomes easier to understand why Frederick William Burton refused to paint the violence. He could have shown the battle. He could have painted the brothers lying defeated. He could have captured Helle's imprisonment or her final moments. Instead, he chose the only scene untouched by blood. The final instant when hope still existed. That artistic decision is what gives the painting its extraordinary emotional power. Burton invites us to imagine everything that follows rather than show. Wing it directly. The more we know, the more heartbreaking the image becomes. Look carefully at the composition. The staircase curves tightly around the lovers, almost like fate closing in on them. There is no wide open space, no escape, no alternative path. Every line leads the eye towards separation. Near Helle's feet lie delicate white flowers scattered across the stone steps. Many historians interpret them as symbols of innocence, purity, and love, yet they are no longer arranged in a neat bouquet. They appear crushed beneath the lovers, quietly hinting that their happiness has already begun to fade. Burton spent years perfecting this single scene. Numerous preliminary sketches still survive, revealing how carefully he refined every gesture, every fold of fabric, and every expression. His goal was never to create a dramatic spectacle. He wanted viewers to feel something deeper than excitement. He wanted them to feel loss. The painting itself is equally remarkable. Created in watercolor, it demonstrates an astonishing level of precision. Burton built the colors in delicate, transparent layers until the figures seem to glow from within. The result is so fragile that exposure to bright light can gradually damage it. Today, the meeting on the turret stairs is housed in the National Gallery of Ireland in Dublin. Because of the sensitivity of the watercolor pigments, it is displayed only for limited periods before being returned to dark storage for protection. Its rarity has only increased its reputation. In 2012, people across Ireland voted it their favorite painting in the entire national collection. Not because it shows victory, not because it celebrates power, but because it captures a feeling nearly everyone understands. The pain of saying goodbye. Most of us will never fight 7 warriors. Few of us will live through the tragedies of medieval legends. Yet almost everyone has experienced a moment when they wished time would stop for just a few seconds longer. One final conversation. One final embrace. One last chance to tell someone what they truly meant. Burton transformed that universal emotion into a single, unforgettable image. Perhaps that's why this painting continues to move viewers more than 160 years after it was created. It reminds us that the greatest tragedies are not always found in the moments of violence. Sometimes they exist in the quiet moments just before everything changes forever. The next time you see the meeting on the turret stairs, don't look for the battle. Don't look for the betrayal. Look at the silence between two people who already know their future cannot be changed. Because sometimes the most powerful love stories are the ones that end before the world even realizes they have begun. If you enjoyed uncovering the hidden story behind this remarkable masterpiece, there are countless other paintings filled with forgotten legends, secret symbols, and heartbreaking histories waiting to be discovered. Join me in the next video as we uncover another masterpiece whose greatest story is hidden beneath the surface.